Alright, back with another video. You know what's good. This is my Life is Strange 2 review. Literally coming seconds after I record my Life is Strange 1 review. Very unscripted, but I think I do pretty well for unscripted stuff. I suggest you check out my Life is Strange 1 review and my intro. Definitely check out my intro. I don't feel like repeating everything I said in those 7 minutes. I described the miniseries to you, how I'm going to be grading it. I would check that out before watching this, but if you really don't care, we're going to get right into it. So, Life is Strange 2. It's kind of like the middle child in the Life is Strange series. It's kind of like the Life is Strange game that everybody definitively, I think, will say is, yeah, that's the worst one. That's the worst one out of the 3. Or I guess 4 if you count Before the Storm, but I'm not going to. I think Before the Storm is like DLC, but you know, that's how I look at it. But Life is Strange 2. Yeah, so this game, and I want to start off positive, but I can't start off positive when the start is so negative. So you're going to hear me kind of fluctuate between positivity and negativity on this game. I did say in the intro, this game is going to be, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. One day I like it, the next day I can't stand this game. I can't stand this game. So, Life is Strange 2, it starts off with introducing us to our main character, who is Sean. He is a Mexican American, and you see where this is going. So, Sean's kind of, let's just say, a dick. He's kind of a dick at the beginning of the game. But Sean actually grows. He grows to be, depending on your choices, Sean could grow to be one of 2 different things. He could grow to be very mature and almost like a father, I would say. Or he could grow to being kind of a crook, criminal. And he stays a dick. And if I'm being honest, I'm actually going to start this game off of positivity. Let's start off with the characters in the story. Life is Strange game. Characters and story go hand in hand. Sean, in my opinion, is the best Life is Strange protagonist. Hot take, I'm sure y'all are all over Max and y'all soon will be all over Alex, okay? But Sean is my favorite Life is Strange protagonist. Why? Because he has significant, let me repeat that in the mic. He has significant character development. Sean changes depending on the choices that you make. Alex doesn't really change. How she starts the game off is kind of how she ends it. And I would say the same thing for Max. Now you could say Alex becomes a little bit more confident, a little bit more extroverted, but I would also argue I believe Alex was always kind of a little bit extroverted, just she needed to learn and bond with the people around her. But Max kind of stays the same. She has some character development, I would admit. But overall, how she starts the game, shy, introverted, it's kind of how she's going to end the game. Shy and introverted. Which, yeah, that's something, man. But Sean changes. He's not the same character. He has scars. This dude's been through war throughout the entire game. He has scars. And war changes people. War changes people. And I love how Life is Strange 2 depicted Sean's change. He changed significantly. He has significant character growth, which makes sense because the game spans the longest out of any Life is Strange title. I think Life is Strange 1 was about a week. I think Life is Strange 1 takes place in about a week. And Life is Strange 3 takes place in, I want to say about a few months. But Life is Strange 2 spans almost over a year, actually. And you see it. Sean changes. He has significant character growth. He gets more mature. Daniel changes. He gets more, I would say, rebellious. And I will be talking about Daniel more negatively because I feel that Daniel is what brings down my morale every time I play Life is Strange. While Sean is absolutely amazing, he's great, Daniel's kind of annoying. I feel like you're supposed to kind of feel bad for Daniel, like, oh my gosh, it's his little brother, and, you know, Sean's mean to him, and yeah, you start to see why Sean's mean to him. Daniel's kind of annoying. And when I mean he's really annoying. He's that annoying little sibling that nobody wants. He's so irritating. If I had a comparison for him, I would think of, who would I think of? Think of that one dude from the first Star Wars prequel. Bar Jinx or something. My Star Wars fans know who I'm talking about. That's who I would compare him to. He's annoying. He's really annoying. He's really disrespectful too. Like, I understand why you're somewhat angry with Sean. He kind of hid what happened to your dad from you. And of course you would be mad. But I feel that especially in, I would say, episode 3, it gets really bad. It gets really bad. He becomes very, very unlikable once you get to episode 3. I feel like after that, he tames down. I feel like episode 1 and 2, Daniel's pretty tame. He's pretty cool. And episode 3 is kind of where it falls apart, as because of him, Sean loses an eye. I think that is dependent on what happens in the game, but he loses an eye. Because of him, Sean gets arrested. And I think it makes it worse when you consider that, yes, he couldn't control his powers. It makes it a lot worse when you realize that the whole plot of the game is Daniel's fault. It's Daniel's fault. Yet, Daniel does not sit down and have that special character moment where he's like, man, I really messed up. He doesn't have that. Daniel just is like, I don't want to go to Mexico. I don't want to go to Mexico. I want to go back. Why can't we just go back? And we'll tell them the truth. Sean's like, we can't just go back. You basically killed an officer and a kid. We can't go back. They get their hands on you. You get experimented on. And it's like, Sean is trying to tell Daniel why you can't go back. Daniel's constantly fighting with him, bickering with him, and it's just annoying. It's annoying, okay? It's annoying. Let's talk about the story. So basically, it all starts off basically with Daniel squirting blood on some random kid's shirt. Kid gets mad. Sean, being the big brother he is, goes and helps his little brother, who I would have just let get beaten up, come back into the house and then tell me, what did you learn? Don't squirt blood on somebody's shirt, even if you're just playing around. And I like how they like to make it seem like, oh, Daniel's innocent. Like, no, Daniel's almost, what, 10 years old. He knows what he's doing. I knew not to squirt blood on someone's shirt when I was 5. I knew that was wrong. I knew that was dumb. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest issue with Daniel. He's just dumb. He's dumb. He thinks just because he has the force of freaking God in his hand, in his palms, that he can do whatever he wants. No consequences. Except when your brother almost dies. Multiple times. And possibly gets sent away for 15 years. Or 100% because of you. Gets shot in the throat and dies. Because of you. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's basically the game starts. Sean goes out there, fights the kid, pushes the kid. He falls on a rock. The rock hits his spine. A pebble hits his spine. Cops pull up, arrest the two, have guns out on him, which is like another thing I have with Life is Strange 2 is that it gets too political for my liking. As a black man, I'm not trying to see a white cop shoot a colored man every single time I want to load up a video game. That's the route Life is Strange 2 went with. Okay, we move on. His dad gets shot and killed. Daniel freaks out, kills the officer, kills the kid. Him and Sean makes a split-second decision and dips. Goes on the run. And each episode takes place in a new area, which kind of sucks, especially when you get to episode 3, because episode 3 was easily one of the best Life is Strange episodes ever. It's so great. It's so good. Characters are great. Characters are likable. Story is great. But you only get to spend one episode with characters like Cassidy, who, I mean, I'm going to make the argument it's the second best romance option. Third best in a Life is Strange game. Obviously, Chloe and Steph take my number 1 and 2. You'll hear more about Steph in my Life is Strange 3 review. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have split feelings about Life is Strange 2. There's a lot that goes on in the game. I can't explain everything that goes on in Life is Strange 2 in this video. I don't want to. I could, but I don't want to. There's a lot that goes on in this game, and I think that's the problem right there. It has an objective, get to Mexico, but while on the road, you have a lot of roadblocks. You have a lot of what I like to call distractions. That, yes, you could debate, push the plot forward, which I think they do, but a lot of them are like, bro, I don't want to. I want to get a company to more characters that aren't Sean and Daniel. Sean's great. Sean is great. Daniel's annoying. Yet, they don't travel in like a group or something. Listen, I think Life is Strange 2 would have been better if maybe you were introduced to Cassidy and her group in episode 1. In episode 1. And you grow with them as the game goes on. For guess what? Your ultimate goal to get to Mexico. And since Life is Strange 2 is the only game out of the series that could claim choices matter, you could have your choices not only affect Daniel, but affect other characters in the camp that could possibly end up with casualties near the end of the game, or arrest near the end of the game, depending on the choices that you made. I would have loved to grow with Cassie a lot more. She was a great character, a great romance option as well. I feel like everything about season 3, I mean not season 3, episode 3 of Life is Strange, that should have been the whole game right there. And that would have been lit. You keep episode 3 centered and focused on the weed thing, while you kind of go place to place in episodes 1 and 2 with the group. Obviously, still introduce the grandparents. You can still have them be an essential part. Maybe have Daniel and Sean leave the little camp group for a bit to hang out with them before they realize, cops are coming in on us. So then they meet back up with them and then they head to the weed thing. I'm just coming up with ideas of how the story could have been different and how I would have liked to see it and why I think this would be a better option. You have more characters that you can grow with, characters that you can give actual character arcs and development to outside of one episode. The problem with Life is Strange 2 isn't that it doesn't take place in Arcadia Bay. The problem is that it doesn't have the same characters. I can't grow with Cassidy. Because guess what? She's only realistically in one episode. Yes, she cameos in episode 2 and at the end of the game through a photo. But she's realistically only in episode 3. The best episode of the game! And, oh my god. I feel like that negatively affects the game. A lot of Life is Strange games, I would say 2 out of the 3 have bad endings, terrible endings, choices don't matter. Life is Strange 2 is the outlier. It has a terrible start, but a good ending. An ending that makes sense for the game. And that's why I like this game. That's why I think Life is Strange 2 is very underrated in the Life is Strange mythos. I feel like, stop hating on Life is Strange 2. Okay, Sean's the best protagonist. Cassie's a top 3 romance option. They have the best endings as well. But that will conclude my Life is Strange 2 review. Like, subscribe, check out my other review, check out the playlist, and peace.